Oh, sounds good. So, Kursk, you walk in there, and Tolbin is there. If you remember, Tolbin is the innkeeper, and he's sort of a short, friendly little guy. And he says, "Hey, good to see you again. Oh my goodness, we just sent out a bunch of hunters to get a bunch of food because, man, Kursk, you're gonna eat a lot of it. I can tell you ate a lot of breakfast.
Kursk hungry.
What you looking for today, Kursk? We got kind of a limited selection today.
What do you have?
Well, we got a lot of breads that the baker had brought in, and then we do have a little bit of a selection of chicken. My wife has been pretty busy making it up. You remember my wife, right, Trilena?
Yes.
Yeah, she made a special little special sauce for that chicken. If you're interested.
Kursk wants 6 chickens and 4 loaves of bread.
Excellent, excellent. I
1 gallon ale.
super, super. I'm very happy to have you here, Kursk. You can see it's not very busy today, though.
Probably because we've been kicking Red Brand's butts.
You have. The town had said something about you guys being over at the Sleeping Giant and kind of cleaning up some of the red brands. That's good to hear. And Sildar, he's taken over the town, so we're all pretty excited and pretty happy.
Good.
Have you?
Kursk get chicken.
Yeah, sure, absolutely, Kursk, 100%. Misrick and Dirk, you guys doing anything? Or are going to kind of crash out?
Oh, I'd like a cup of hot tea, please, and let me get some chicken before you get Kursk his.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Absolutely, I have that in the back here. Um,
Some beans and some ale.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'll bring out the gallon for Kursk, and then I'll bring you guys out some big mugs if that's all right.
Oh yeah, and our friend Lavitz is paying today.
Oh, excellent. Lavitz kind of looks at you guys and nods. He's like, "Yep, definitely gonna pay." So he kind of grabs the coins from Lavitz, and then you guys he kind of goes into the back. You do see Pip, if you remember. Pip is Tolbin's son. He's kind of playing underneath the chairs again, and generally, I mean, the place looks pretty uneventful. There's a few commoners here. You do see, however, there's a sort of a tall, kind of noble-ish type looking gentleman that's over in the far corner, kind of sipping on his glass of wine and slowly cutting his chicken, eating it. He definitely seems to be out of place. Tolbin comes back with a little bit of food and puts it on the table. Kursky brings you a bunch of bread, and he says, the chickens are still cooking, buddy. They'll be out in a few minutes.
What about cask of beer?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you see the barmaid, who is Elsa. She's kind of bringing out this large thing, and she kind of plops it on the table. She says, "There you go, Kursk. It's good to see you back."
Kursk stands up, pulls his axe out, busts open the top of the cask, and starts drinking his beer.
Nice. So again, as you do that, you see the tall, kind of noblish type gentleman sitting in the corner, kind of puts down his knife and his fork and kind of sets it down and kind of pushes back the chair and kind of stands up and starts to walk over to you.
Kursk is dipping his bread in beer, and he looks up at the tall gentleman.
As you look up, you see a gentleman that definitely looks like he's in his 50s or 60s. He's human. He does wear some very fancy type armor and sword. He has a long, sort of a reddish type of beard that's there with some blonde that's mixed in as well in between. And he kind of walks up, and as he walks up, he kind of looks down and he says, "Lord Weston." And as he does that, Lavitz kind of turns around and takes a look at him.
No, I'm Misrick. Oh, you're looking at the guy with the pretty hair, huh?
He kind of looks over to you, Mizrick, and he says, I don't have time for any gnomes.
Oh, that's too bad.
And Lavitz kind of looks around and he says something to the effect of, hey, Dad, what's going on? And Lord Weston kind of looks down and says, Lavitz, you've left the home. You need to return back to the home. See Lavitz kind of looking a little sheepish at the time and kind of sets down his sword on the table and looks up and he says, Dad, we fought the fight. I won the battle. I'm not returning home. He kind of looks back down at his son and he says, you definitely need to return. I don't want you to be with these commoners that are here at this table.
Commoners? What? Never mind.
So Lavitz kind of looks around the table and kind of looks back up to his dad, and he says, Father, you are my father. I will follow whatever you tell me to do. However, these good men are not commoners. They've protected me many times. They're good folk. They're good men and gnomes and sort of a man who thinks he's a man but probably isn't a man. But anyways, I guess I shall return home. You guys are always welcome to come up to Icewind Dale if you need a safe place to be. Just look up the House of Weston.
Do you have any more of your hair gel?
What was that? What were you going to say, Dirk?
To know if I could get some of your hair gel.
He kind of looks over to you and kind of smiles and pats you on the shoulder, and he says, I don't have any hair gel, Kursk, but here's my my potion of healing. You can keep that. I won't need it where I'm going.
Thank you.
And let's see.
Kursk, owe you money for this?
No, Kursk, you can please. Why don't you keep that for all the fighting and whatnot you've done for us? I think it's well deserved. He also hands over the Jade Frog statuette over to Mizrick. Not Mizrick, I'm sorry, Dirk. And he says, Dirk, I know that you're a man of the forest, and I think the Jade Frog statuette probably belongs more to you than it does to me.
I'm going to nod solemnly, and then I'll put that in my pocket.
Alrighty, sounds good. And then Mizrick, he kind of looks over to you and he tosses you a couple gems and says, my fellow caster, here's some gems. I'm sure you'll have some spells that'll come in the future that will probably help these to cast you tried and true.
Oh, thank you.
With that, he kind of stands up. He gives kind of a curt bow to you, and he looks over to his father and he says, I assume your coach is here, Father? His father kind of looks down. He says, of course my coach is here. He says, come on, let's get out of here. He says, this food is atrocious.
See you later, Lavitz. May your hair never bend.
Nice. He smiles at you and slowly kind of walks out the door, and kind of everything kind of sort of returns back to normal within the tavern. So you guys continue to eat your food. Not much happens at this point. It does become late, so I assume you guys probably are going to crash out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go up to my room after eating.
We're going to go ahead and pay for a few more nights in the inn there.
Alrighty, sounds good.
So 3 more nights.
Alrighty. I think we had said it was a silver apiece, if I remember correctly, so I think it'll be... Was it 2 silver? Alright, 2 silvers then, please. Alrighty.
Alright, adjustment made.
Sounds good.
Kursk goes to bed.
Alright.
I'm going to go up to my room and do a ritual with one of the I'll shut gems and try and get a familiar.
Okay, sounds good.
And I'll be bed as well.
Alrighty, sounds great. So you guys kind of all go to bed. Mizrik, you go ahead and you start to cast your ritual, and you are able to obtain a familiar with your ritual that's there. We'll go ahead and do a long rest. Gilbert.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, excellent. So Gilbert, you've been traveling down the road from Waterdeep up to Neverwinter, and as you're traveling up the road, you've heard rumors through people that have passed by that there's been a lot of goblins and kind of disruption about halfway up the road, heading towards Neverwinter in a small little mining village called Phandelver. The village also has been known to not have any healers or clerics from what you've heard, and there's kind of a calling for you to kind of go that direction. As you, yeah, exactly. So as you kind of come around towards the town of Phandelver, you see that you kind of follow this rutted track, and it's becoming pretty late at night. Didn't see any goblins on the trail. However, you did notice that on the trail there was some signs of some carcasses of some dead horses that had been pulled off the trail, and such as a ruffle and whatnot about halfway out of town, half days out of town. And as you kind of come up, you're kind of taking a small rutted track, and it emerges over a wooded hillside, and the sun is sort of setting off to the west, but you do see in the valley that there's the first glimpse of Phandelver. There's a small sign there that does say Phandelver. It's kind of written on a piece of wood, and you see there's about 40 or 50 simple log buildings, and they're built to fieldstone foundations. There's some ruins there too, but some of the houses appear that they've been built on top of there, and the town looks much larger, probably centuries past, but now it's a kind of a small little village. There are some newer buildings that are on the side of the cart track, and it widens kind of into a muddy street that sort of kind of meanders down through the town. We'll be entering up here on the arrow you can see on the map there. Here, I'll reshare it for you real quick. And so as you come through, you do see that most of the shops are closed as you come down the road. However, the Stonehill Inn is a building that's kind of a roadhouse of fieldstone and timbers, and you see there's a lot of people in there with, or several people inside with mugs of ale and cider and kind of drinking.
What time of day is it?
It's definitely evening. This is now about nighttime when you're kind of rolling into town here.
Alright. I'll probably head into the inn then. Seeing as it's the only place.
Yeah, exactly, it is. And as you look, you do see there's a kind of a short young human that's there, and you see a small kid kind of sleeping underneath the one of the tables in the far corner. There's a fireplace that's lit. It's definitely warm and kind of inviting, and you see a couple people in there. It looks like an old farmer's kind of sitting there, and he's kind of drinking some cider, and you see the barmaid's kind of sitting down and talking to sort of a younger boy, maybe one of the farmer's boys or somebody else that's in there. And as you open up the door, everybody kind of looks at you curiously, and then kind of turns back and does their stuff. And this young, you assume is the innkeeper, kind of walks up, and he says, "Good day, good evening. Oh, it's a late night. I am Tobin Stonehill. Welcome to to the Stonehill Inn."
Greetings. I'm Gilbert of a Talos order. My walk has been very exhausting, and I'd like to rest here.
Oh, absolutely. We do have 2 rooms that are still available. I see you're a man of the cloth. Did you see Sister Gariel?
Gariel? No.
Oh.
I've seen no such person.
She's the kind of the one of the healers that we have in town. She's over at the Shrine of Luck. If you have a chance during the daytime, you may want to swing by. She had left and came back probably about 4 or 5 days ago. She was pretty wounded and is exhausted. I assumed you were coming to help her.
Thank you. I will do such when the sun rises.
Excellent. Would you be hungry? Could I maybe get you a drink?
That would be wonderful.
Wonderful. And what would you like to drink?
Classic ale.
Excellent.
fancy.
Oh, no problem. We have a lot of ale there. We've had some new people in town. It seems like town's been getting a bit busy, but there's some newer people in town. They've been really drinking a lot of the ale, but I did have another cask brought in just because of our other guys' what shall we say, flavors of his drink. He loves to drink a lot.
Ah,
Please, please, have a seat. Have a seat.
thank you.
Absolutely. So he kind of points you over towards the hearth and kind of indicates over to Elsa, kind of gives her a quick nod and a stern, and she comes over and he kind of whispers something to her, and she goes into the back and brings you over a big cup of ale and sets it down. And she says, welcome to the town.
This place is very welcoming. Glad to see that.
Oh yes, well, we've had some new people show up into town, and it's really helping kind of clean it up. For a while there, it was pretty scary, but I think the Red Brands they're going to be gone pretty soon.
Red Brands.
Oh yes, the Red Bands. It was a group of mercenaries that came into town and pretty much hassled everybody, including all the businesses, except for the Phandelver Miners Exchange. I don't know why they didn't mess with Halia, but she's the one who runs it. But everybody else, she seemed to give a hard time to. They even killed somebody.
I see. Does your town have many wounded?
It has a few. We have a few. We usually Sister Galil, or Guriel, she's the one who typically heals people up. But yeah, people have been kind of hanging out and trying to hide in their houses and whatnot. They seem to be coming out. We have some miners too, of course. But
Is this a mining town?
yes, it is mining. A little bit of farming. We're really trying to get a foothold back into the area.
Well, it's very deserved.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention that, there may be some people that need some healing. There's some new folks that have come into town that have kind of been cleaning up the Red Brands and whatnot. They look pretty battered when they came in. Matter of fact, there was they have this guy. He kind of lives out in the woods, I think, or something. He was really bloodied when he walked in. Maybe in the morning I can kind of direct him to you. What do you think?
That would be fine.
Excellent. They usually get up pretty early, so would you like me to come knock on your door, or are you an early riser?
Knock on my door. I sleep heavy.
Okay, yes, absolutely. I'll be happy to do that. No problem at all. And she's kind of says, are you sure you don't want maybe a little bit of a night snack? We could maybe bring in a little bit of a cookie or something like that?
Well, I have been a bit peckish.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. So she kind of grabs goes to the back and brings out this, it's kind of an unleavened type of cookie. Probably not the sweetest thing that you've ever had, but definitely tries to be a cookie as you can try to taste it. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes. Very rustic.
Yes, absolutely. So she again kind of says, well, if you need anything else, let me know. Here's the key to your room. It's a very simple room, not much to it, but it'll pass, that's for sure. It has a bed at least.
Thank you. I'm heading off to sleep.
Alrighty. And so you go ahead and head off to sleep there. I'll give you guys a long rest here. So the night passes without any incident. Early morning kind of comes around, and
Curse wakes up and goes downstairs.
alrighty. Kursk, you kind of go down, and you see that it seems to be a lot more busier today in the inn. I'm not sure why, but there's definitely a lot more people there.
Curse hungry.
Alright, and you see Trilena, she seems to be working this morning. Her husband's probably, I don't know, maybe sleeping in or whatnot. She kind of comes over and she says, Good morning, Kursk. You up for some eggs this morning?
1 dozen eggs. You got sausages?
We have a couple sausages. Not a lot, though. Do you want me just to bring them all out for you?
Yes.
Okay, alright. She kind of go...
Big hunk of cheese.
Of course, absolutely. A hunk of cheese for you, no problem. She kind of walks into the back and goes to grab some food. You see Elsa kind of comes in a little bit groggy from the back. She looks like she's still kind of half asleep. She sees you, Kursk, and she goes, Oh, Kursk!
Yes.
Yes, yes. There's a healer here. Your friend Dirk. He looked really beat up last night. It's a healer from out of town. I gotta go wake him up. And you see her kind of start to walk away.
Okay.
All right, Dirk, sleeping in today, I assume.
I'll be heading down to have some breakfast.
Alrighty. So Dirk, you come down and you see, as you come in, you see that Kursk is just finishing up a little bit of sausage that has obviously been brought out. You see the place is pretty busy at this point.
And I'll sit down. I'll order some eggs.
Sounds good. Um, so you kind of sit down next to him, and you do see that Trilena kind of comes back, and just as just as she's coming to table, Gilbert, you hear a knock on the door.
Who's that? What is this? What's happening?
And she kind of says, "Excuse me, sir. That group is awake. Well, at least one of them."
Oh, right. Have to be up early today.
Yep.
Alright, I get out of bed,
Alrighty.
put my stuff on, and go downstairs.
All right.
Wherever this is.
Yeah, it's kind of a down the hall type of thing. So, all right. Dirk, as you sit down, Trilena kind of comes over and says, "Good morning, sir. What would you like for breakfast this morning?"
Do meet.
Stew meat? Yes, I have some of that. Hang on, I'll go back and grab it. I think that's what you said. So Elsa kind of is waiting outside the door for you, Gilbert, and she kind of walks you down the hallway. Mizrik, you still in your room?
Just woke up.
Alrighty.
Pack everything up, and as I walk out, I'm gonna cast an alarm on my door there.
Sounds good. So Gilbert, as you are coming down the hallway there, you see this small kind of gnome with real dark sort of skin. He's out there, and you see him kind of waving his hands and muttering something and whatnot. And Elsa says, she kind of stops and she says, "Oh wait, he may cast us something on us. We need to stop here." She says, "Okay, all right, I think he's done." So Mizrik, you hear Elsa say, "Oh, I think he's done," and you turn around and you see this cleric that's standing with her.
Hello, sir. I'm Mizrik Pebbleclock. A lot of people like to take the L off and call me Pebblecock, which I don't understand. Anyway, I'm looking for books from Belinda and Stone. So if you see any books with BS on the inside, let me know.
What does Mizrik look like?
I'm a little deep gnome. I got a white beard, even though beards aren't common on gnomes around here. But
I turn to Elsa. Is this the sick man? Oh, he looks fine.
She kind of looks at you and she says, "Oh, no, not him. It's his friend." She says, "What's your friend's name again, Mr. Gnome?"
puffing my chest out and rubbing my beard, all proud of myself for my looking good. You mean Dirk Hardpeck? Yeah, he's outside probably eating with Kursk.
Oh, I bet he is. I must have missed him in the hallway.
Oh, and dear sir, if you run into Kursk, he's a half-orc in a horrible costume as a human, but he doesn't like to be called a half-orc, so you're best off just playing along like he's a human.
Ah, I will do just that. My name is Gilbert. You can call me Gil.
Okay, all right, Gil. Let's go grab some grub before Kursk eats his place out of house and home.
Elsa kind of walks back with you guys, and you guys kind of enter in the big room. Kursk and Dirk, you now see Mizrik and Gilbert kind of walking in.
I'll nod my Mizrik.
What was that again, Brian? I'm sorry.
I'll nod my head at Mizrick.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Hey, Dirk. Hey, we're in luck. Gil's a healer here, and he heard that you may need some help, and so anyway, he was looking to offer his healing.
Curse chimes in. He says, "You can't fix stupid."
Ouch.
Yeah, he may not be able to do that, Kursk. So, yeah. Hey, any sausage left?
No, Kursk ate all sausage.
Ah.
Who was the one that was battered and bloodied?
Might have heard about my adventures last night when I died several times.
That's Dirk.
Curse saved him. Curse saved Mizrick too. He still owes Kursk 1 gold.
What does Dirk look like?
Lots of scars, northern barbarian type.
What does Kursk look like?
Curse is a very large male half orc. His features tend to be more of his human parentage than the orcish side. But he wears a thick black beard and long curly hair at his shoulders, and uses a beard and his hair to attempt to try his heal his lineage. He augments his appearance with the disguise kit.
Hmm. You guys look like you need a bit more than healing.
Yep. Yeah, I think you may be right there, but we'll just move along. Looking for tea. Where's that waitress at?
Elsa kind of comes back and she says, "What would you like for breakfast this morning?"
I'd like a cup of hot tea, please, and then if you have anything left after Kursk assaulted your kitchen there, I'd like something for breakfast, please.
Sure. Well, I think we have a little bit of ham that's left from the pig that we had slaughtered last night, but otherwise, I think that's about it this morning.
Pig.
Sorry, Kursk. We kind of didn't say anything because we needed food for the rest of the day.
I'll have what Mizrick's having.
Yeah, I'll have some of the ham. A hot cup of tea.
Excellent. So she kind of goes back. Oh, and she looks over to you and she says, to you, Gilbert. She says, what would you like?"
The same as Mizrick.
Okay, excellent. And she kind of runs back into the kitchen, brings back some food in a few minutes.
So, what do you guys think? Do we want to go back to the manor and clean it out today, or do we want to go to Thunder Tree?
Mr. Jangles said we should go back to Manor.
Oh, hold on now. Jingles. Is there a fourth person here I'm not seeing?
Yeah, Mr. Jangles is a friend of Kursk's. It's a mouse. Yeah,
Mouse.
that's Mr. Jangles. Yeah,
Mr.
he
Jangles is a dragon.
yeah.
Oh, I've never seen such a small dragon.
Mr. Jangles killed cat with fire breath.
Oh, I have much to learn from Mr. Jingles.
And Mr. Jangles smarter than all of us.
There
Yeah.
is somewhere I need to be today, though. What was the name of that lady?
Sister Gariel?
I must meet with Sister Gariel today and soon.
I think she's been mentioned to us once. Um, Maybe we'll tag along.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
We should also see Stillwater and let him know what we've done so far.
Yes, maybe he can pay us some more money for our progress or something.
Well, Kursk is finished eating.
Alrighty.
I'm done.
He's dressing himself up, getting ready to go.
Yep.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, most.
Alrighty, so you guys kind of dust off, and Tolbin kind of rolls in. He says, "Oh man, you guys are up early this morning. Where are you off to?"
Go kill red brands.
We'll be visiting as a group. Lady, what's her name again?
Gariel.
Gariel.
It's in the
Lady G.
notes.
Nice. So he says, "Oh, she's literally right across over at the Shrine of Luck. She's just right across the building here. I heard she's been quite injured, from what I understand."
Oh, we must hurry.
So you guys kind of step outside, and as you go outside, it's a fairly nice day out. Not horrible. You see that it's sort of a cloudy day, but some bits of sun kind of pokes through every once in a while. The town seems to have a much more upbeat feel to it for everybody that's been in town before. If you remember before, everybody was kind of downtrodden, and you don't see any people with red scarves walking around today like you did yesterday. As you guys move over to the Shrine of Luck, you see this is a small shrine that's kind of made of stones that maybe were taken from some of the nearby ruins. It does appear that it's dedicated to Timora. You do see her shield at the top of the shrine that's there.
Are the doors open?
The doors are open, and it does look inviting. You don't hear any music or any words of prayer inside, but the doors are open nonetheless.
All right,
Can
I
I
go.
break it for just 1 second?
Please.
I forgot something. During the long rest, Curse was going to try to tune the Talon. I forgot to mention that because I just noticed it was not ID'd yet.
Oh, okay, all right, gotcha. So you're gonna try to take a look and see what that is and try it out.
Yeah.
So as Curse uses that sword, he notices that it has incredible balance to it, and the edge is very, very sharp. Matter of fact, you plucked one of your hairs off, and you notice that even before it touches the blade, it had started to immediately start to cut the hair that's hanging there. Definitely looks like a you've never handled a weapon like this before.
Okay.
Matt, just so you know, we're doing something a little bit different with magical items. So what we're doing is you guys are going to figure out what they are by using them, or by kind of experimenting with them, and then you'll find out how things are as they go. So
That's
they received a talon, a long sword. It's labeled talon, and I think Kursk was trying to get more information from it.
I didn't get it though.
Figured you did. So.
We continue on.
Alrighty. So as you enter into the shrine, you do see that there is a very young woman who's kind of up at the top of the shrine. She's putting down some candles and lighting the candles. The shrine is simple in nature, but definitely looks like it's been cared for, and definitely looks like she's put a lot of care and work into it. You do see a large symbol of Timora up at the top of kind of the far wall, and you do see a bowl, and it does have several small copper pieces that have been thrown into the bowl itself. Not a lot, but there's a few there. You do notice that her hair is very long and white, kind of hangs almost down past her butt. But she is dressed in a long gown, but you do see that underneath the gown there are some leggings that are underneath there. So even though she has a gown and looks like she's probably not somebody that travels outside the shrine, her leggings look more of like traveler's pants.
all right. I walk up and say, "Miss, are you Lady Gariel?"
She kind of turns around, and you see actually she's a young elf that's there, and she kind of has a very angelic type of face to it, very pretty, kind of some real light blue eyes. You do notice that she does have some bad scarring on the side of her face, though, and there's some dried blood that's there. It looks like it's kind of been healing over time, but definitely looks like she's been in some sort of an altercation or got hurt, and she kind of looks around and she says, "Ah, good man of the cloth, it's nice to see you."
I've heard you could use some assistance, and so I've came.
Oh, thank you. I could. I unfortunately was in travels, and I was attacked by some orcs coming down from Coneybury, and oh, it was very rough, and I got beat up, and I was able to escape, and I've been slowly trying to kind of take care of myself while I've been gone. Timora's been good to me.
So she's wounded right now.
Yes. I do have some wounds still. I'm still quite difficulty, and I think there's some ribs that have been broken.
Let's see. I think I can do something about this.
Oh, it's good to see a man of Talos, right? I believe.
Yes, Talos.
Yes. I thought so. You look like someone that would be worshiping Talos. You carry some of his common weapons and equipment.
I'm gonna try cure wounds on it.
Alrighty, sounds good. You can just roll it into the tower there if you want, or not in the tower, into the chat box. It'll be fine. Excellent. So you notice immediately that the scarring kind of clears up completely, and she kind of takes a big breath, and she goes, ah. She says, "Oh, that feels so much better. Thank you." She says, "I appreciate that."
It's my job, miss.
Well, I'm glad you're here. And have you guys been the ones that have been clearing the red brands?
Yes.
Well, I have to thank you. I've been trying to get rid of them for a while, and been trying to find some adventurers or mercenaries to come in and clear them out. But I see that I never needed to leave. She looks over to Mizrik and she says, "Thank you, sir. Thank you. Timora thanks you as well."
No problem. No problem at all. Hey, with that long hair, how do you go to the bathroom? Do you have to put that over your shoulder? I probably shouldn't ask. I'm just curious.
She kind of blushes a little bit and she says, "Of course we don't talk about things like that." She says, "I do have a favor to ask if you are able to do so."
I'm still willing to assist.
Well, she says, I've been asked by others that I know, not here in Phandelver, but from other areas around, that there's a spell book that has been missing and has been anxiously wants to find out more information about it, and they've asked me, and so I've tried myself and failed, and I'm looking to see maybe if you could help me, since there's more than one of you as opposed to me being one.
I look back to the group. Would you all be willing to assist in this?
Sure. Yeah, I think I'd be willing.
She looks over to over to you, Kursk, and she says, "Thank you, fine sir, and my, what a beautiful beard you have."
Ah, thank you. Petting his beard.
She's like, "Not you, gnome. I was talking to the tall man. I'm sorry, your beard is very nice as well."
Thank you.
So she kind of turns back and she says, "So I was asked to go meet with someone named Agatha to answer a question about a spell book. I actually made it to where she lives, but she wasn't home, I guess would be the way to say it."
Spellbook. I'm very informed on spellbooks. That's kind of my specialty. So this Agatha.
Yes.
Uh, have you ever seen her spell book?
I haven't. I was sent to ask questions about it. Unfortunately, she wasn't around when I went to ask, so I returned. Um,
Perhaps she'll be here today.
she might be. She lives outside of Coneybury. It's about a day's travel, or a day and a half travel to the north. I I think that she probably needed maybe a gift to make her come around. So I have this jeweled silver comb.
Having to bribe her just to get her to show up, huh?
Well, I think that it's very important, and they ask us to, see maybe if you could maybe help. It may just help, loosen the wheels, if you may say so. The spell book is very, very important. In Little Gnome, I'm sorry. Is it okay if I call you Little?
Sure. I guess.
She kind of
Like half man.
half man. I think I'll stick with Little. Gnome, I think you may have heard of this wizard. It was a legendary mage named Bowgentle. Have you ever heard of him before?
Bowgentle. No, I don't think I've ever heard of him.
Oh, well, he's a very, very famous mage, and his spellbook was lost during a battle, and we're really hoping that that Agatha can kind of tell us kind of maybe where the location would be around here. I think, if you maybe traded the comb, she would answer the question. I'm not sure. She's been known to like combs and things of the sort for her hair to make her prettier.
I see. So you'd like us to travel to her place.
Yeah, when you can. I mean, it would be a great help to me and to my friends.
Well, I have nothing else on the table.
Excellent. She hands you the comb, and she says, "Oh, and by the way, Agatha, she's a little peculiar. So if you do meet her, I would be careful in your words."
All right, I'll remember that.
Good, excellent.
If only we had Lavitz in his hair gel. We could trade that.
She's like, "Who?"
Oh, he's a friend who had to leave.
Oh, that's too bad. I think you probably need all the friends you could when you meet Agatha.
Well, that doesn't sound good. Is she not friendly?
Oh, she's just a banshee. It's okay.
A banshee.
Yes, a banshee.
Do you mean
I don't-
metaphorically a banshee?
No, I mean literally.
Ah, I see.
Yes.
Never met a banshee.
Oh, well,
What is it with banshees?
they sometimes can be abrupt.
Well, shall we be going then? Gang.
Sure.
We need to go see Stillwater.
Oh, yes, I think he has been at the town hall all day yesterday. He may be back today. She kind of leans over and hands Gilbert the comb, and she kind of wraps her hands around yours, Gilbert, and she says, "Please take care of this, and I look forward to you returning."